Hi, everybody. Welcome to the writing room. I am Alice Emba. Okay, I'm so excited. This is my first time doing this, so I got all my notes. I hope you have your pens. I use blue pens. I hope you have your notebook paper, or you can use um, Google Docs, Microsoft Word, or whatever you want to use. You can use your phone because I'll be using my phone. I'll be using papers on my desk and my clipboard. But I love my famous blue pens. So the whole reason for me, I don't want to say the why right now. I just want to welcome you and just say that some of you may have a finished story. Some of you may have an unfinished story like me. My story is unfinished. I started writing on my memoir during the pandemic and I did not finish. So over the last few years, I've really had this nudge to form this group for everyday people who had a significant story that the world needed to hear. I'll tell you a little bit more about that later, but I definitely want to just say about this world right here, the things that we're going through in this world right here, right now, right in this moment in time is incredible, truly incredible times that we're living through. And I know that everybody's hiding a story somewhere inside of them. So, um, like I said, I have an unfinished story. I started writing my memoir, started working with a publishing company in Chicago during the global pandemic. It was like a hybrid company and really, really awesome business, really, really awesome people, Christians, whatever, but it just wasn't enough for me. So my background is I'm a librarian, I'm an educator, and I'm a story builder. I consider myself someone who finds pieces of a story and put them together using memory. And so I kind of want to share um, some of my techniques and my methods and my experiences with other people. Um, so I have this story that just won't let me go. So the memoir that I'm writing, a lot of people think that memoir writing is easy. It's not easy at all. But I'm trying to create a different type of memoir, a prophetic memoir, which a prophetic Christian memoir, which is a little different. I'm not sure if there's anything out there like that. It probably is. If there is, you guys can let me know. So, like I said, I started writing during the pandemic. And you know what? I still haven't finished that book because of this life right here. A lot of delays, a lot of issues with focusing. Just like now, I'll get distracted and I'll go off on a tangent. Situations that have occurred in my life, health, sickness with kids, different situations, distractions, things come up, get you off track. Here's what I know, though, for sure that I feel called to write. I feel called to write the story that I have inside of me. And I hope that each of you feel the same call on your life that you're supposed to do something, or you're supposed to give the world something. You're supposed to write your story down because when we're off the scene, and we will be off the scene someday, that story needs to stay. That's your legacy. That's for the next generation. All the experiences, all the things that we've gone through, it's not for us. So you've got a story inside of you and it just won't let you go. That's why I created a company called Right to Reign. It's a literary and legacy brand where I show everyday people how to write their own stories, the stories that they've been called to write from their own lives, from their own experiences, or whatever the case may be. Not a professional writer, by no means. Not a person with the MFA degree, not at all. Just regular people with extraordinary stories that need to be told. And tonight, we're not just going to be talking about it, but we're going to be about it. We're actually going to do it together for one whole hour. I know that we're supposed to be writing for an hour, but I will share um, the introduction of my book with you just so you'll know what I'm doing. I'll read it aloud if that's okay. Give me a thumbs up, Tracy or Roberto, if it's okay if I just feel like it's kind of, since you guys can't chat with me, that I need to, okay, I'm going to read my chapter one, okay? All right, Roberto, thank you. All right, have you ever lived through something so painful that sharing it would expose every broken part of your heart? That's how I felt when I started writing this story. I didn't plan to write a book, I just needed to get the pain out of me. It was part of trying to make sense of my grief and what was left of my life. But all along the way, it became more than that. It became a roadmap for anyone walking through loss and searching for meaning in the middle of it. It felt like standing over the shattered pieces of my life, wondering how everything that once made sense had fallen apart. I was disconnected from myself, from God, from everything that had anchored me. The day my husband died, suddenly in our home, in front of our children, beneath us, there was no time to prepare, no time to say goodbye. Just a smoking hole where our lives used to be. At the funeral, I watched as they lowered my husband, the father of my children, into the ground. It hit me that his work here was done, finished. He was done with the cares of this world, but mine had only just begun. In that moment, I went from someone's imperfect wife to a widow raising children all alone. My identity was buried with him. I didn't know who I was anymore. For years, being a wife and a mother had defined me, and now both roles were changing faster than I could blink my eyes. Then, 4 months later, one of my children became sick, diagnosed with a double bone marrow failure. The news shattered me. This was the kind of moment when I would have leaned on my husband's strength, his steady support, but he wasn't there. I had to carry it all alone. There wasn't many choices. I did what I had to do. I made hard decisions, showed up for my kids, and tried to hold everything together. On the other side, on the outside, I smiled and I thanked people for the flowers and the casseroles, but inside I was screaming. That's the quiet sound of grief, when everything inside you hurts and nobody can hear your hurt. No one could really understand. My family and friends were heartbroken too, each trying to deal with their own pain and helplessness. Still, I felt alone, raising kids who needed me at different stages while I was barely holding on myself. And then God showed up, not in a way that I expected, and not because I had it all together. He met me right in the middle of my mess. What started as a surface level faith turned into something real and alive. The Holy Spirit began speaking to me through dreams, so vivid and so clear that I couldn't explain them away. They weren't just comforting thoughts, they were encounters. I heard God's voice in ways I never had before. And that's kind of where I stopped with the introduction. And then I go into so with the introduction, I like doing the introduction, and all the chapters are going to be what's in the middle, and then the conclusion is what's, kind of tying it all together the same way we would write a regular narrative. So that's easier for me to write that way and to follow the progression of a story. So that's why I did the introduction, and then I go into chapter one. So I am going to work with mine. I'm going to go ahead and write. Give me a thumbs up if you feel like you're writing or you're just thinking, because sometimes you don't just go straight into writing. Sometimes you have to. Some of the things that I've done is I listen to music. Sometimes movies help me in my reflection, conversations with friends, just engaging. That's why I think community is important, being in a trusting space where you feel like that the person that you've decided to spend an hour with or an hour and 30 minutes with can relate to maybe a story that you've experienced or something that you've experienced that will help you feel comfortable in releasing your story to the world. Because I found that back during the global pandemic, I didn't know it at the time, but I know it now, that I really couldn't connect I really couldn't connect. I needed somebody to hear what I was thinking. I needed someone to hear what I was feeling. I needed somebody to connect to my story, not just help me write a book. Because anybody could write a book. Anybody could write their story down, but it's not easy to open up your heart. It's not easy to open up and reveal all the broken pieces and the parts that you played and whatever the situation is. So I learned some things about myself. I had to play some music. I realized I had to play some music besides my pen. I haven't had my coffee. I realized some things about myself that I wanted to share with you all. Maybe this will help you on your journey. I'm not really sure if anybody, did any of you want to write a book? Simone does, Roberto does. Okay. Tracy, maybe not sure yet. All right. Give me another thumbs up if you have started writing a book, whether in the form of an outline or you have a title or just all the chat. Oh, no outline, no title. Yes. Is that a yes, Roberto? You do have an outline? Okay. That's good. All right. Good. Awesome. Tracy too. Okay, this is good. So what I learned about myself, it takes me a while to settle down. And I need my music, I need my company, I need my paper, and I need a good writing pen. And I also learned about myself as a writer that it takes me too much time to organize my papers. So I'm going to have to find another way. I spend more time in the thinking and reflecting part of writing. I spend more time vacillating over, should I start here? Should I, like I said, at the corner or the intersection? Should I start at the corner? Should I start at the intersection? I spend a lot of time vacillating there. I think I could probably benefit from a transcriber. That's what I learned about myself. And I also learned that writing is messy. It's very, very messy. So what I did when I went on mute is I decided, because I had both chapters, I have chapter one written twice in two different ways, especially with the help of ChatGPT, which can muddy the water sometimes. That's what I'm learning. It's good and it's not good to use it because you want to keep your voice, you want to hold on to your story, and you want to tell your story the way you want to tell your story. So when I wrote this, it's a lot more. I realized that I like to use metaphors, and I think I kind of write an allegory a little bit, but I also realized that you have to stop the story at some point. You can't just keep going on and give all of the details. You have to bring it all together. And I realized that I like to have like a transitional sentence that takes me from one chapter to the next chapter. I try to think about writing my memoir like I'm writing a narrative with the beginning, the middle, and the end with the three parts. But I also think about all those other elements like transitions, descriptions, and metaphors and things like that. I know this is not like a skills class or anything, but I just thought I'd share that because I can see what I didn't write or what I did write.
Thank you for sharing those parts of your story. I am in the middle of like finishing up, well, actually getting ready to defend a proposal for my
Mhm.
dissertation. So I can't, so I realized I couldn't pull out my story, which is a whole nother thing. But I
Mhm.
did start looking at the beginning of my dissertation journey. I had created like a video story and just wanted to get some ideas about how I wanted to maybe reflect on that even in my proposal. I don't know how much I can come off like the script of what I'm supposed to do, but just in the beginning of that journey was like I was talking about how God had me start out this peace, this flow of peace, and I don't know, like that's something that helped me to kind of start gathering myself, and then I was able to pull up my proposal, my presentation, which is still part of my dissertation story research, although it's all, nonfiction. So I don't know. I'm just kind of blurring things together right now, but that's where I am right now, just trying to get that part out. So,
Well,
I
that's
don't
big. That's big, Tracy. That's
know.
really
So,
big.
anyway,
That's massive. That's a book by itself. So you do the dissertation and get the book done. The dissertation can become a book. Is that what I'm hearing?
I think it will be at some,
Yeah.
so that's what I was spending time. First, it just took me a long time to figure out what I was looking for. First, I thought I was looking for the template that I had started because I couldn't figure out how I had saved it before. But then I started messing around on my computer, and then I found that story of how we had to create like a presentation of how our experience was from the January that I started until I ended in the first semester. So
Okay.
it was a story in and of itself. And so there were books all over the place and just
Oh,
the
wow.
compilation of this whole thing. So I don't know, like so tonight that's what I was doing, was trying to organize that.
Okay, so you agree that writing is messy.
Yeah, yep,
It
yep.
doesn't matter what kind of writing, whether it's memoir,
Right.
whether it's dissertation. Got it.
Right. So I
Okay.
was just trying because even though all the writing is done for this proposal, now I have to extrapolate pieces of that to then present to make sure that my stuff is worthy to like go forth and then do the research, if that makes sense. Is that
Yes, it does. It makes a lot of sense to me. So how did you feel? Do you feel does it take you a while to settle down?
it does? It does. Like
Yeah.
even yeah, it takes me a while, and it also depends on what you have been doing. So I kind of like go from one thing to another. So really, you have to have your mindset like before, like this evening was kind of like not a, it was like my flow wasn't as good because I just come from spending time with family and then settling back for about 45 minutes of getting ready for this. So, it wasn't as easy as it normally would be because normally I would just wall myself off.
Right.
I do have to wall myself off, and I do music as well. But it
Okay.
has to be music with no words in it. It just has
Okay.
to be instrumental because I can't hear anybody else's words. I have to
Yeah.
just hear the instrument. So,
I understand. I usually do the and I want to say two things to what you just said. One, I understand what it's like when you have a busy day. It is very, very hard to settle down, to go from one to the next to the next to the next nonstop and get off of routine. I understand that. And then the second thing is that I noticed tonight that on a daily basis, I listen to piano music I can't listen to words either. But I noticed that when I was in this room online with no sound, writing, that was hard for me. So I needed words. Isn't it like the human being? We're just strange, right? So I needed words. I needed somebody to talk to me. That's what I noticed. So I ended up listening to a song that had the lyrics to it this time. So, Simone, anybody? Anybody else before we close out? We did good. We did good. So, thank you for coming, everybody, to the writing room. I plan to write every week for an hour. Um, I'm not I'm not asking anyone to join me, but if you'd like, you can. I'm going to keep the writing room monthly. It's not necessarily for us just to write for an hour. This was just to get us started, but I would like for us to be able to talk about all those parts to writing, dialogue, anything that you guys can think of or anything that you're interested in. I'd like to kind of cover those topics and have it a little bit more organized, but I didn't want it to feel like we were in a classroom. So I just wrote a little something. Thank you for coming to the writing room. I'm beyond grateful for everyone who joined me tonight. I hope it won't be your last time with me. And I hope I said something that helped you on your writing journey. So thank you for joining me in the writing room. And remember, you get to reign over your own story. So I hope you guys will continue to write. Thank you.